Welcome back, fellow fans of Clash Royale, to another Clash Royale episode. And yes, the Supercell team has dropped some big news on us that a lot of people are going to be very, very happy about. Balance changes just around the corner, and two of the most hated cards in the game are getting nerfed. Yes, the Elite Barbarians and the Royal Giant both getting tuned down just a little bit. And of course, the Clash Royale team talking about other things and bringing up the idea of a legendary building. We will get to that one in just a couple of minutes. But first, I wanted to go over these changes. Now, in this episode, Sip and Bangs and Stefu talked about the reasoning behind balance changes, and I have to completely agree. They obviously don't want to kill these cards. I mean, they're annoying. People hate them, but they're a necessary part of the game, and I think they do add a lot to the game. I mean, come on. If you're not passionate about a game, then what's the sense in playing it? And that passion definitely brought out by units like the Royal Giant and the Elite Barbarians. So here it is. Without further delay, the Royal Giant is going to see its deploy time increased from 1 to 2 seconds. Now, yes, a lot of you are going to complain you wanted to see a nice big nerf to its damage or its hit points. No, neither. Only the deploy time increased. And yes, in essence, this is actually a buff to a certain style of Royal Giant play. Now, the most annoying thing I see about a Royal Giant is that you can drop it right on the river and it's going to go straight to work on a tower, or if one tower is down, you drop it in that center pocket and it goes right to work on the other tower. So this deploy time is going to reduce the ability of the Royal Giant to go straight to work. It's going to give you an extra second to counter it, to get something into place, to get a distraction in there, a building, pull it back with a tornado, whatever it might be. Right here in this battle, there you go, Kart's opponent dropping that Royal Giant on the river, and so that is going to get a nerf. But if you're dropping your Royal Giant in the back, behind your tower, like you see a lot of players doing, this is in essence a buff to the Royal Giant, giving you an extra second to gather more elixir and put together a bigger push. So it's, you know, it really isn't going to eliminate the usage of the Royal Giant, but it does make it a little less annoying, and for that I think a lot of us have to be very, very thankful of this change in the Royal Giant. Now let's move on to Elite Barbarians, the other most annoying troop in the game. They're going to see a reduction in their hit points of 4%, and their first attack, meaning that first strike when they get to another unit or a building, is going to be delayed by 0.1 seconds. Now that doesn't seem like a lot, but I think you might be surprised that it's going to again give people a chance to react to the oncoming unit and stop it before it gets into that tower or gets too much damage done. So really, I don't know, I'm happy about these changes. I think that it's definitely good for the game. We don't want to see any one card overpowering the meta, and the Clash Royale team also insisted that they haven't been dominating the meta. Now, they are extremely annoying, but it's kind of like anything else. The more annoying it is, the more you're going to notice it when you face it, even if you're not facing it as much as other certain cards. What's interesting is they talked about the problem of over-leveling commons, and that is a big part of the reason these cards have become such a problem, is they are common. And so they're easier to upgrade. You'll oftentimes see even level 10 players with level 13 commons. And although that's not going to be a problem at top 100 gameplay, nor is it going to be a problem in challenge gameplay, for the average player who's playing between, you know, 2,000 and 4,000 trophies, yes, it's a big deal. And that is exactly why this change has been made. And I'm excited for it. I also want to see what other balance changes are coming. I definitely had some ideas of my own. Want to see if they come true. Now let's go ahead and move on to the other subject that they spent a while talking about, and that was the idea of a first ever legendary building. Now this is going to have to fall into the killed cards concept idea drawer that Clash Royale no doubt has somewhere, the file where they keep all their trashed ideas. The Ice Wizard Tower never made it to the game, but it definitely seemed like an awesome concept, and I'm excited because I still feel like we will someday see a legendary building, but maybe it won't be a defensive legendary building. So, I don't know. They were talking about they didn't like a lot of defensive cards, defensive buildings in the game because it slows things down. But offensive buildings are pretty much the most hated thing in the game. I mean, obviously Elite Barbarians and Royal Giants, but that's only because you see them more frequently than you see X-Bows and Mortars. Trust me, if you saw X-Bows and Mortars this often, you would definitely hate them just as much, if not more. Personally, I hate them more now, but let's save that for another episode. So the legendary Wizard Tower, Ice Wizard Tower rather, not coming to the game, but you know what is? Yes, I wanted to take a minute to talk about the Full Attack Tournament of Champions tournament series on Beam.pro, you guys. We're going to be hosting an 8-week tournament series, 8 1,000-player tournaments to be held over a period of, well, probably closer to 3 months, because as I'm traveling, I won't be able to cast the individual tournaments every single Saturday. But the plan is on most Saturdays to run a 1,000-player tournament to get as many of you guys in there as possible, and the winner of each tournament each week gains entry into the finals, where 8 players will face off for total domination. That's right, for the Full Attack Championship and the Mighty P.E.K.K.A. statue, amongst other amazing prizes that are going to go out to the winners of the bracketed tournament that happens at the very end. But in the meantime, you guys, make sure you check that out. The first tournament starts this Saturday, April 15th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time. And if you follow me on Beam, you won't miss a notification for a future tournament. There's going to be several more coming up in the immediate future and other exciting stuff. So big reasons to stay subscribed here on YouTube, to follow me on Beam, follow me on Twitter, heck, follow me on Instagram, but don't follow me in person. It makes me nervous. All right. Thank you guys so much for sticking around all the way to the end of the episode. Make sure that you are subscribed and you turn on those notifications. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and come back once again tomorrow for more Full Attacks.
Galadon, I'll be back